Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue, and today we're at Lulu Country Club in Montgomery County. As you can tell from behind me, there's a lot of things going on here at Lulu. A lot of construction. They're working on the golf course, trying to restore it to its glory. Back when Donald Ross opened his club 100 years ago. We'll take a look and talk to the management team, see what plans they have, and also talk to the superintendent and see what his priorities are, trying to restore Lulu to its prestige as one of the top country clubs in the Philadelphia area. And we have a return of our teed off panel. It's all coming up next, today on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life, and Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.
Got a young golfer in the family? Whether their dream is to grab a national ranking or just have more fun on the golf course, sign them up for the Philly PGA Junior Tour this summer. It's competitive play on premier courses for boys and girls 18 and younger throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Perfect for gearing up for the next high school or collegiate golf season. Available to both new and competitive golfers. Registration now open year-round. Help your young golfers find or improve their game. Sign them up today at phillyjuniortour.com.
The focus, the feel, the friends. Golf isn't just a game, it's an experience, and PGN Plus invites you to experience golf like never before. PGN Plus provides golfers with access to the area's exclusive private courses, and for existing country club members, PGN Plus enhances your membership with intra-club reciprocal play. Select your course, book your tee time, and play the best private clubs the area has to offer. Create your free account today. Visit pgnplus.com, your invitation to private golf.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're at Lulu Country Club, and John Rusk is the head professional here. And John, you're pretty much also steering the, what can we say, the restoration of Lulu.
We are, yeah. We're very excited. We're under new ownership. We started June 1st. So we've been into it for about 3 months, but as you can see, we've got the clubhouse painted. The awning's actually going up today, if you guys can see that.
Timing's everything, isn't it?
It is.
It's
funny.
Of what the changes are in store
That's
here.
it. We're rocking and rolling. More importantly, we got members that are ready to rock and roll. So
There you go. You got what, close to what,
255 members. Yep,
Okay.
full golfing members. So membership's on the way up, and we have a fall is free program right now. So if you join now, you do get the rest of the year free. You don't start paying any dues till January 1st.
Nice.
So we just had about 10 people come over and do that last week, actually.
Now, in the past, the recent past, this has been kind of semi.
It is. Yep, it was. They were running a lot of public golf through here, so we've decided to change that, and we are going to allow some member for a day, as we call them. You come in, you come preview the golf course. You can play 7 times a year. After that, we're going to ask you to join. Yep, and that's the way we're going to do it, and our members are excited about that. It helps with revenue, brings some extra revenue, so we can do all this extra stuff around the clubhouse.
I know, and we'll be talking to him later. Matt Stouts has been brought on as your superintendent. He has a nice resume.
Guy's a home run, man. We love him.
Most recently, he was at Hopewell Valley,
Yep.
but in his past, he was also over at a place called Pine Valley. So he's got nice little resume, as I
Yes,
say.
he does. We're so excited. Today was Matt's first day, so he's been out here since
Busy
6
at
o'clock.
work.
He is busy, man. We're so excited. I've never been. I think I got a man crush. I'm not going to lie to you. I love the guy. He's awesome.
Well said. He's got a big fan.
I love him.
You're talking about the building here behind us. It was just painted.
It was
this
painted.
past couple of weeks. And what about inside? You got,
Inside.
in terms of amenities there.
We do. We have the Ross Pub, which a company, we lease our food and beverage out, a company called Catering by Mario's. They're great. You guys come back next spring, you're going to come inside and see all the changes.
You talked about membership and trying to get maybe a target of, you're up to 255 now. What would you like to get, say, in
We'd
another
like to
year?
get, I'd love to be at 300. I think that's a
Okay.
good goal. I think we can do it. Like I said, we've got a good team in place. The membership, it's a fun place to be. You come over, you sit on the patio, you know, have a couple drinks, hit some golf balls, and the guys have a good time here. So that's the big selling point, is it's a fun golf course to be
And
at.
it's a Donald Ross design. And the other thing is, and you're well aware of it, in this area particularly, if we did a flyover in this section of Montgomery County, it would look like Myrtle Beach.
Yes, it would
There's a
be.
lot of competition for the golf dollar, isn't it?
There is. Golf's a shrinking industry, so you got to get creative with marketing. You've got to be very aggressive trying to attract new members. So we've been doing all this work to get the new members. We have a pool. We're going to be looking at opening the pool. We're not 100% sure yet, but we're going to be doing our research to look at that because that can attract new members. So we're doing our research and getting done what we need to get done.
And talking about full disclosure, if you come here to Lulu, you may see some Auburn Tiger memorabilia,
War
maybe
Eagle.
a head cover or two,
I got
and a
a few of them.
photograph of their most famous alumnus golf-wise, Jason Duffner, who just happens to be this guy's best friend.
That's right.
Tell us about your relationship with Duff.
Well, I used to be known as Jason, or as a good golfer. Now I'm known as the Duff's best friend. So I guess, but that's not a bad thing.
I've got an idea, great marketing tool. Once everything is finished out here, get him to prop himself up against the wall, do a little Lulu Duffnering, huh?
That's it. He's
That would
been
work.
doing that for a long time, that guy.
That would be a social media, that would go viral in seconds.
Seconds. We'll have him at the Lulu. We'll do some duffering on the new patio here.
John, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
Looks like things are well underway, and good luck in terms of getting Lulu back to where it was and making it a fun place for all those new members you're
I
going to
appreciate
attract.
that, Harry. Thanks for coming out.
Okay. Matt Stout is the superintendent here at Lulu. Pretty much fresh on the job, Matt. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
coming here to Lulu. A little bit about your background. I mean, you went away for college. You grew up, though, in South Jersey, and you
Yes.
worked a lot in South Jersey.
I did. I worked at a lot of clubs down there, like Little Mill and Pine Hill, which is now owned by Trump.
Sure.
And I had the fortunate ability to work at Pine Valley as well.
That's pretty fortunate.
It is. So I got a lot of my experience down there. And after that, I moved up to Hopewell, which is near Princeton, private club, and was the head superintendent there for 10 years.
What's your top priority now on the job here at Lulu?
Top priority here right now is getting the golf course into good condition. The biggest challenge right now are the fairways need to be really done over as far as trying to establish bent grass. Right now there's a lot of poania, even crabgrass and things of that nature. So first up is getting the fairways back into good condition, getting some bent grass established. Getting the tees back as well. A lot of compaction. You know, you can see that there hasn't been a lot of work done on conditioning the golf course over the years.
How long would that process take to, you know, thicken things up, get
Sure.
the bent grass really, the majority of the grasses on the fairways?
Well, it's funny, you know, with the conditions we have right now, with the sun and the warm temperatures and the cold nights, you're going to get a germination rate very high and very quickly within, you know, a few weeks. So by November, you're going to see a big change in your fairways and tees. You want to set yourself up for the spring so that when you come out of the springtime, you have a good stand of turf.
How about, okay, we talked about the fairways, and that's
Sure.
the top priority. What about the greens?
I'll tell you, what's nice about the greens here is they're very healthy and in great shape. So that's not something that we really have to focus a lot of our efforts on right now. Just simply doing the basics like lightly sanding, rolling, making sure that we're mowing the right heights. So that's what's nice about this right now. We're not having to focus all of our attention on it.
This is, I guess, for want of a better term, a Parkland-style golf course. I don't know if it was when Donald Ross opened it or designed it back shortly after the turn of the century.
Yeah.
But you do have photographs, I guess, to give you an idea what it looked like then
Yeah.
as opposed to what it looks like today.
You know, the old photographs, there were no trees at all. Not
So it was wide open.
It was wide open. So now you have a good stand of large, mature trees with good variety that just need cleaned up, pruned up. Some are going to be taken down. Some of these oaks that have a disease, and a few that are blocking some sunlight to some of the greens. But other than that, we don't really have a major tree problem. You know, the place needs a lot of food. It needs to be fertilized properly. And I think once you start treating it the right way, the grasses that are here will respond in a good way.
Well, certainly you have the background and the training with your experience to get this place A1. All right?
Sure do.
Now, I know all the members would like to happen, you know, by tomorrow, and
Yeah.
we know that's not possible. But it sounds like weather conditions in the fall,
Yep.
getting you a good jump start for the spring.
Absolutely, and you know, by next season, you're going to see a golf course that's night and day. It doesn't take as long as people think.
There you go.
It takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and that's what we'll do.
And the right people working on it, and it sounds like Matt Stout is the guy here at Lulu.
That's right.
Matt, thank you. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Right. All right, Kevin, you've nailed it. Like we said, right in the middle of the fairway here, about what, 275 off the tee, a little more?
A little bit.
So that leaves you with what?
You know, golf course superintendents
are the unsung heroes of our great game.
Thanks to the game's efforts,
we now have turf that needs less water
and is more sustainable
and offers natural wildlife habitats on our courses.
If you love golf like I do,
like what I do,
thank a golf course superintendent.
Thank a golf course superintendent.
Do thank your golf course superintendent.
Thank a golf course superintendent.
A message from the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America.
Welcome back to Inside Golf from Lulu, and look who it is. It's Kevin Nicholson, who is new on the job because last time we saw you, Kevin, it was up at Makefield Highlands, and here you are at Lulu.
Yes, I'm very excited to be a part of the new team here at Lulu with John and Jeff, and just something that came along and really looking forward to it, a little closer to home. And you know, this is one of the great golf courses, I think, in Philadelphia, so I'm very happy to be here.
Absolutely, and what makes it great, of course, first the tradition, Donald Ross, and has some spectacular holes here at Lulu that have stood the test of time. And I'm curious, from your point of view, first of all, there aren't that many golf courses that I know of that begin with a par 5 uphill.
No, you know, the first hole is one of those holes that, you know, it's 490 yards, which by, you know, today's standards is probably just a long par 4. But here, because it is uphill, it's a very deceptive hole. You know, you have to hit the tee shot uphill, and then your second shot, you know, for me, it's 195, 200 to the hole, but it might play 210 to 215 just because of the uphill. You have bunkers to carry about 30, 40 yards short of the green, so it's a very deceptive hole. It's yardage-wise, easy hole, but it can jump up and bite you to begin the day.
Yeah, to begin the day, and then you say, oh boy, we got 17 more. Another one of my favorite holes on the front nine here at Lulu is number 7. It's a real, I think, typical Donald Ross design. You got a little bit of everything. You got length, you got slope, you got a dog leg, and the slope that I'm talking about goes left to right. So, you know, if you're hitting it up the left side, or that's probably where you have to hit it in order to get a fairway lie for your approach shot.
Right, it's a typical Ross in the fact that, again, length, you go down and then back up to not a plateaued green, but your second shot does play uphill. The green is very sloped. Those greens are demanding, and 7 is probably the most demanding green on this golf course, because if you hit it above the hole, you're in trouble. You might want to set the flag down behind the pin.
Make sure the ball stays
absolutely
there, huh?
Absolutely.
All right, so then you come back the other side of Limekiln Pike on the back nine, and 2 of my favorites are number 16 and then the closing hole, number 18. What do you say we get up close and personal, go out to number 16, because it's not the longest hole by far out here, but boy, you know, a 4 there may be a really good score sometimes.
4 would be a great score on that hole, so let's go out and take a look at it.
Well, we have landed here on the tee at number 16. From the back tees, plays about 330 yards. And as we look ahead here, Kevin, it's a blind shot off the tee box, right?
It's a very blind tee shot. You go out about 220 yards, and it really slopes downhill to arguably one of the smallest greens out here.
You're really hitting a downhill approach with a wedge, 9-iron or less, into that small green.
You're right, Harry. It's a very, very difficult shot. It's length, again, it's not a very long hole, but it's very, very deceptive in the fact that, you know, you can hit a great tee shot, but then your work's really cut out for you on your second. Again, it's, you know, it's risk reward.
Right.
You know, back then, I don't think that's what Mr. Ross was looking at when he designed this hole, but it's turned out to be a very good risk-reward hole.
He didn't know the Kevin Nicholsons of the world were going to be hitting a three wood into this.
Exactly.
Hole. Well, Kevin, that pin today is all the way in the back. That's probably the most favorable position on this green, because as you move up here and see where we are, I've played here before where the pin is like maybe 6 paces in. You got the bunker. You're coming down that slope with maybe a little wedge, and boy, is it tough. You talk about just hitting it right, or else you're either in the bunker or you're over.
It's tough sledding. I mean, again, this is the most accessible pin back here. But again, you don't want to hit it over the green, because then you really have a downslope, and really hard because, again, the nature of a Ross course with the sloped green. So again, discretion being the better part of valor, especially if the pin's up front. Give yourself a little bit more room. You hit it to 20, 25 feet on this hole, you're actually doing pretty well.
Well, Kevin, let's say we get in a car, take a ride over to my other favorite par 4 here on the back nine, the finishing hole, number 18 at Lulu. Kevin, this, well, how would you describe it? I mean, it's got length. Obviously, you got the out of bounds on the right side, you got trees on the left side.
This is, I honestly think, one of the more underrated finishing holes in Philadelphia. It's, again, it's a typical Ross. You go down off the tee and then second shot up to a very, very steeply sloped green from back to front. Again, when Mr. Ross designed the golf course, I don't think he had Limekiln Pike in mind, out of bounds right. But again, that adds a little bit to the hardness of this tee shot, because you can try to bail out left, but you have the pine trees and the other trees there on the left, and then obviously right, you run into the out of bounds. So, distance and accuracy is a premium on this tee shot.
Right, you got a straightaway shot. Those bunkers, they're really not greenside bunkers. There's about how much yardage from the front of that bunker all the way to the green?
The one right in the middle of the fairway there is about 60 to 70 yards short of the green, short of the front of the green, and then the one on the left there is about 30 yards short of the green. But if you get in there, and I've actually been in there a couple of times after having to chip out from hitting a bad tee shot, that is, again, the 60, 70 yard bunker shot's probably one of the hardest shots in the game of golf, and especially with this green slope the way that it is, it's a very difficult shot, so you want to try to avoid those.
All right, it's your honors here.
Okay, thank you.
Show us how you're going to play number 18
All
at
right.
Lulu. Well, we've seen Kevin's game. I know he can bomb it off the tee. This is a piece of cake, folks.
All right,
Kevin
here we go.
Nicholson. Little right, is it coming back?
Right in the middle of the fairway.
My goodness. Limekiln what? He doesn't care. All right, Kevin, you've nailed it. Like we said, right in the middle of the fairway here, about what, 275 off the tee, a little more?
A little bit.
So that leaves you with what?
I have 122 to the flag, and again, the pin is up front. Normally, when the pin's in the back portion of this green, and it really slopes from back to front, but it slopes from back right to the front left here. So anything, if I'm going to I have a lot of room right, so if I'm going to miss it, right's going to be the where to go. Anything short and left isn't all that bad, though, because, again, you're going to go right back up the hill.
Yeah, you don't want to be putting downhill
No,
here.
not on this hole.
All right, let's get it close.
Okay, we're going to try here.
Let's get a
We're going to try here.
little birdie for you to finish
Okay.
up here on 18.
All right. Again, it's 122. It's up the hill.
Little wind in your face?
Wind's coming a little bit into me from the right, so probably playing more like 130, 135.
Good. Stiff it.
I'm going to try.
That might go in.
Looks pretty good.
Well, the only bad thing about it, you're putting downhill. But you know what? I wouldn't mind that situation.
No, that's, again, this is the problem when that pin's up front, because, again, you want to get it on the green. You want to give yourself a chance to make birdie. The problem is you get a little bit too rambunctious, you get past that hole, and you could have some issues. So let's go up and see if we can make this thing.
Nothing you can't handle.
We'll try.
Well, you got yourself, about 16 feet down that hill?
16 to 20 feet. This is probably, I'd say, one of the 3 or 4 fastest putts on the golf course.
Okay.
So it should break a little bit towards you. So
you're going to put it somewhere maybe out in that
probably
area?
somewhere out in there, yeah, and just kind of let gravity take its course here. So
all right.
Let's see what we can do.
Get some of that morning dew to slow it down.
Yeah,
for you.
absolutely.
Good speed. Come on, where's
Turn
the brake?
a little, turn
where's
a little.
the brake?
Actually kind of went back toward the left a little bit.
So maybe that's a little straighter than we thought.
A little straighter than you think, but again, when you're above this flagstick, it's just so very difficult to get it close to the hole. So when you get an opportunity like this and you got to tap in for 4 to finish your day, we'll make and it'll make the beverage at the 19th hole
little room service.
a little better. Well, thanks, Harry.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks,
my man.
Harry. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you. Stay with us. More to come. Our teed off panel is getting ready to go long. That's next right here on Inside Golf. I can't contain my enthusiasm. President's Cup week is upon us. Not here in the States.
The focus, the feel, the friends. Golf isn't just a game, it's an experience, and PGN Plus invites you to experience golf like never before. PGN Plus provides golfers with access to the area's exclusive private courses, and for existing country club members, PGN Plus enhances your membership with intra-club reciprocal play. Select your course, book your tee time, and play the best private clubs the area has to offer. Create your free account today. Visit pgnplus.com, your invitation to private golf.
We're rolling out the action and bringing it all to the table. So go all in with endless ways to win. Join us for the area's hottest happy hour with double the action at half the price. Only at Valley Forge Casino Resort.
We welcome you back to Inside Golf. This is our teed off panel, and we are back at the Valley Forge Casino Resort in King of Prussia. Great food, great entertainment, and plenty of games right here at Valley Forge Casino Resort. We have with us today Bob Shepard, longtime Philadelphia area professional, golf writer, does it all. Mr. Shepard, always a pleasure to see him.
Good to see you too.
Jeff Surrett is the executive director of the Philadelphia section of the PGA of America, finishing up a very exciting year.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
And we also have Joe Logan from myphillygolf.com. Joe, coming up, it's hard to believe. I can't contain my enthusiasm. President's Cup week is upon us. Not here in the States. You have to go all the way to South Korea to a Jack Nicklaus designed course, by the way. The U.S. against the international team. This has been a real lopsided affair. I think this is like the 11th, and the U.S. has won 8 of the previous 10. Hence lopsided. There's no buzz about this, is there? Am I missing something?
No, none that I have picked up, especially since it's in Korea. But there's never, it doesn't have the history of the Ryder Cup. Ironically, this was born out of the fact that in the early 90s, so many of the best players in the world, in the world rankings, were neither from the U.S. or from Europe, and they couldn't, there was no postseason team play, and so they created the President's Cup, which is, the other side, the internationals, is everybody except the Europeans.
Right.
And now there's some Australians that are in there, but for a time it's been
guys
pretty
like
awesome.
Jason Day, pretty good player, was ranked #1 there for a heartbeat or two earlier this year. Jeff, why is it? I mean they have the talent, but it just doesn't have.
I think Joe kind of hit it on the head. It doesn't have. It doesn't have the history that the Ryder Cup has. That I think there were a few years in the Ryder Cup where things got contentious, so that obviously that builds. And then. With the idea that it was really good when the U.S. lost the Ryder Cup because it made people interested in the Ryder Cup again. So, maybe a few years of the international team winning will spur on, a little bit more excitement for the event. But, it almost seems like it's just a really nice event for the guys that are involved. Obviously, you get to see great players like Jason Day and Adam Scott and folks maybe you don't see in that team environment as you would in the Ryder Cup. But still a cool event, but I don't think it just doesn't have the history and doesn't have those moments of, where it was really contentious to build some,
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe, Shep, the international team are too nice a bunch of guys. Maybe they need an Ian Poulter. Maybe Poulter can move to South Africa or Australia for a year, take up presidency, and all of a sudden give that event some jolt.
Right. I think one thing that's holding, and I'm talking out of my hat, but I think holding the tournament back is there's too many majors. There's a Ryder Cup, there's a Walker Cup, there's the Solheim Cup, there's cup after cup after cup, and they keep calling them majors. There's only 4 majors, that's it. And you can call the TPC Championship a major if you want, but it's not. There's only 4 majors. So I think every time they call this an event of major quality, they're deflating it because you can't be. There's only 4 majors to be able to be titled. So I think that's part of the reason this thing just can't get off the ground because they're pushing so hard to get it to go. World tournament, and which is a wonderful thing. I'm not trying to knock the fact that you have Koreans and you have Australians and all these different people playing, but I think you have to, you got to give it a shove, but not too hard. You push it right in the back door and out the front door.
You know, which leads into next year. Not only you'll have a Ryder Cup, you also have the Olympics.
Yes.
I mean, how's that going to interrupt things?
That's going to be a crazy summer. PGA Championship, Open Championship, Ryder Cup, all that. Olympics is going to be, the summer is going to be crazy for, the professional golf world, that's for sure.
And, each team gets to send, 4? And I guess how they're going to decide based on where their world rankings are?
World rankings, yes. And no country can have more than 4 people, certainly out of the top 10. But
and we don't know yet how many countries are going to be involved.
I don't think we know yet. It will depend on how things play out when the time comes.
Yeah. And it's for men, it's for women. So, and it comes right in the middle. I don't know what the exact dates are.
It's in August, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it in August? So right in the middle of the season, like you said.
Late in the season.
Right between the British Open and the PGA or whatever.
I think they had to move the PGA or something.
Yeah, 2 weeks or something
this year.
All right. Well, maybe that'll add a little more buzz
to it,
that is missing right now from the off year from the Ryder Cup. Unfortunately, it falls just a month or so before next year's Ryder Cup out in Minnesota. Bob, Jeff, Joe, thank you. Inside Golf is back with more right after this. The Valley Forge Casino Resort is the region's only full amenity gaming resort, and it's only seconds from the Pennsylvania Turnpike at King of Prussia. It features 600 slots, 50 table games, and there are nearly 500 guest rooms, plus 8 restaurants designed to meet all of your dining needs. So put the beautiful Valley Forge Casino Resort on your destination list.
We're rolling out the action and bringing it all to the table. So go all in with endless ways to win. Join us for the area's hottest happy hour with double the action at half the price. Only at Valley Forge Casino Resort.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Appropriately enough, we wrap things up right here on the 18th hole at Lulu Country Club. And we want to thank John Rusk and Matt Stout and Kevin Nicholson for sharing with us their ideas for the future here at Lulu. It sounds like it's going to be a wonderful place to be and enjoy rounds and rounds of golf in the weeks, months, and years ahead. Join us next week for more as we go to Fieldstone down in Greenville, Delaware. We cross over to the state of Delaware for a look at that fantastic golf facility. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. We'll see you next time right here on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life, and Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.